Hi friends, spring is here, the sun is out, birds are chirping, and a cold case has thawed. Now if you have no idea what I'm talking about, let me explain. I'm talking about the 1996 disappearance of Kristen Smart, which has now been solved 25 years later. Why? How? Because of a podcaster. Yeah, can you believe it? Turns out podcasts are more than just getting free promo codes for stuff. I never heard before. Chris Lambert started the podcast In Your Own Backyard in order to re-examine the Kristen Smart case, a girl who disappeared in his hometown. So he started making calls and reaching out to people that were either initially overlooked by the police or just weren't willing to speak with the police. And all of these people really opened up to Lambert in the way they never did with the authorities, probably because they thought, oh, this is just a guy doing a podcast, harmless, right? It's amazing how much you can accomplish when you're not threatening to shoot someone. And soon deputies started calling the podcaster, asking him to connect them to all the people he was interviewing, and all of this has brought about a murder charge. It's pretty incredible, and both law enforcement officials and Kristen's family are applauding the podcaster for bringing renewed interest to the case because he's getting fresh information. And on top of that, they really appreciate the 10% code that he got them for DoorDash. That's what podcasts are, right? Also, like, how did you renew interest in something that people haven't cared about since the 90s? Asked MTV. And he now joins a new growing list of true crime entertainment that is helping bring justice in real life, like 2017's Up and Vanished podcast. This solved the 2005 disappearance of Tara Ginstead when the person literally just confessed on camera. The murderer admitted to committing the murder, just like this, and it kind of makes you wonder, did the police, ask if they did it? And then there's the blog and book I'll Be Gone in the Dark. This helped revive interest in the Golden State Killer case and actually got the case reopened. I think it's so interesting and dope to see regular citizens who are not trained to do this try to crack these cases that for some reason or another have been deprioritized. But of course, there's always pros and cons because being an armchair detective can also have some negative consequences, like back pain and other things. Many people still praise the true crime podcast called Serial. If you don't remember, it reopened the case about convicted murderer Adnan Saeed. However, the victim's family was upset by the podcast because they felt it was undoing what they felt was justice served. And amateur detective work is even more troublesome when it leads to unjustified accusations, like the ones against Sunil Tripathi, who social media decided was the Boston Marathon bomber. That's right, Sunil Tripathi, who's a missing person, was mistakenly assumed to be one of the bombers. And that's it, the internet did his thing. His photo was picked up by Reddit, his family was getting calls and messages. And can you just imagine, at first they're probably thinking, oh, this is information about our missing son, but no, it just turned out to be death threats. Now, of course, when the identities of the bombers were released, the calls probably stopped, the messages probably stopped, but that doesn't mean that the pain stopped. In conclusion, I think that podcasts and grassroots campaigns are incredibly powerful tools, and they're entertaining, and they bring about justice and social change, and they also allow us the opportunity to guess what someone looks like solely based on their voice. So Chris Lambert, thank you for finally bringing justice to the Kristen Smart case and to her family. And there you have it. Not all heroes wear capes. Some wear noise-canceling headphones. Oh my god, thank you so much for watching the show. If you click here, I think you can subscribe to the channel. If you click over here, more clips just like this one. Click them.